I will call to order the Common Council meeting on August 10th at 7:31. First up is Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Present.
Alder Radafrada.
Here.
Alder Gerhardt.
Here.
Alder Herbst is absent with an excuse tonight. Alder Maldonado.
Here.
Mayor Richardson.
Here.
Alder Strassman.
Here.
Alder Udell.
Here.
Alder Wheeler.
Here.
You have a quorum, Mayor.
Excellent, thank you. Public appearances for non-agenda items, new appointments. I do not have anything. There is only one person in the audience who has items on the agenda to speak to, so I'm going to keep moving on to the consent agenda. Is
For
there
approval.
moved by Jay?
Second.
Seconded by Shannon, I heard first. Is there anything that people would like to do separately? Gabriella?
The draft minutes, can I pull those out?
Yep. And then Julia?
Yes, B5,
B5, the wayfinding signage, all right. Anything else? Randy?
Yes, I'd like to, under direct referrals, 11A1. Move it.
Well, wait, well, after we do the consent agenda, we'll do.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We'll amend the agenda.
Yep, jumping the gun here. Thank you.
Yep, no problem. All right, seeing nothing else, all in favor of approving the consent agenda except for the minutes and number 5, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, nay. All right. Next up is the minutes.
I'd move approval.
All right,
Second.
seconded by Shannon. So Gabriella, what did you want to change on the minutes?
Yeah, so it's page 9 of the minutes, page 13 of the packet, sorry, I'm just pulling it up myself just to make sure I say it correctly. Under amendment number 8, the motion to approve, I believe it was made by Alder Radafrada, but right now it says Alder Gerhardt.
All right, and I'm assuming, Jay, you're okay with the friendly to your amendment to include that change?
Yeah, sure.
All right, and Shannon, you're okay with that in a second? All right. Anything else on the minutes?
Nope.
Then all in favor, approving with the change, say aye.
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 And opposed, nay. All right, that is approved. And then Julia, number 5, what'd you want to do here?
Yeah, I want to refer this one to CEDA too.
All right, would you like to make a motion to add CEDA and then approve?
Yeah, I want to move a motion to refer resolution R-144-21 to CEDA.
Second.
All right, same by Jay. So it's really adding CEDA to the list of referrals. All right. Anything else? All in favor of approving that by adding CEDA, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, nay. All right. That is all approved. And Chad, you are up for administrator's report.
Thank you. I'm curious, the whole right side of me is empty tonight, so I don't know if I said something last week that cleared out the right side of the dais or what, but anyway, I'll go on with my other items. So there is the postal contract station remains open at Hatchery Hill through the end of August. There is an application by an area business to assume that contract with the U.S. Postal Service, and that is currently pending with the Postal Service, and we'll stay on top of that. Clearly, that postal contract station is important to us, and we're going to work as hard as we can to keep that operational there. Concerts at Mckee, the last one is Monday, August 16th at 6 o'clock. Jazz at 5 is beginning tomorrow, the 11th, and will run for the next 5 Wednesdays, also down at Mckee Farms Park. That typically starts right around 4 o'clock, it looks like, based upon what's been shared with me. And then there are usually several acts each evening. Couple other items. The police department is hosting their community night out tomorrow night. at 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. up at the Nine Springs Golf Course. And one other item of note is on the topic of redistricting. We are starting to get some information shared with us from the county level, and I thought I would at least take this opportunity to at least share a preliminary timeline that Dane County has provided to us. They anticipate receiving census data on August 31st. They will spend the month of September through their nonpartisan redistricting commission working with the public. On October 4th, they anticipate a presentation by the Redistricting Commission of 3 selected maps to the Dane County Executive Committee. On October 7th, they anticipate the Executive Committee will recommend 1 map to the Dane County Board. And then on October 14th, the Dane County Board will hold a public hearing and adopt a tentative supervisory district plan via resolution. And then October 15th through November 5th, municipalities will submit their ward plans to Dane County. And on November 18th, the Dane County Board of Supervisors will hold a public hearing and adopt a supervisory plan via resolution. So obviously, the timeline is going to be considerably compressed in what we would normally have. Tracy and I have had some conversations already, as have I with the mayor, about trying to do what we can, obviously in the limited time frame that we're going to have available to us. We are going to be reaching out just to see if there's any prep work, so to speak, that can be done in advance of October 15th, so we aren't trying to accomplish this within basically a 3-week period.
All right. Any questions, Jay, and then Julia and Gabrielle after that?
Yeah, the potential new location for the postal station is, what area of town is that in?
It would be in the same vicinity.
Still in Hatchery Hill area?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Pretty close to that. Julia?
Yes, I would like if Chad can share that information with us in an email. And I would like to know how is the city working on those in our role in this initiative. What is our role? Are we meeting? I know that the mayor created a committee way back.
Yep. So we'll have a redistricting committee. Usually they have 2 months to do their work, and it sounds like at max it's going to be 3 weeks. And then they'll provide maps to the council. The council will actually ultimately approve how the redistricting looks, though, but they'll provide us some options for that. And I haven't officially, asked anyone just because I didn't know what the timing is. And as you can see, if we only have 3 weeks, if one of the people who I was going to ask is gone for even a week of that, they probably can't be on it at this point because it's such a compressed timeline. So we're verifying it, getting a little more information from the county just to make sure that that is accurate and there's not things we can do beforehand. But we are trying to get a little more clarification on that. But the council will see it and will ultimately approve the maps.
I assuming, okay, so that one for, my concern is the amount of time that we are gonna have as a council member to vote, and understand information, because it seems like it's rushing, all of this. I know why, but, it's.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to get a lot of community input. It's not ideal when you're talking about public participation.
Okay.
So, Gabriella, and then I can go back to Jay.
Yeah, going back to the post office, Chad, I had a resident reach out recently about this. Do you have a sense of if there's a possibility that there's going to be an absence in service if someone new takes it over, or is the goal to kind of keep continuity of service? And do you have any idea what that's going to look like?
The goal is to keep continuity of service, but I think it's a possibility that there could be a gap. It's going to depend mainly on the U.S. Postal Service and the timeline in which they're going to operate with to evaluate the application from the local business owner to assume that station.
Is it possible to host that information or do updates about the post office? Because I know we talk about it in council, but for any residents that are interested because I know people are noticing that Hallmark is closed, and I know people are asking like, oh, is this going to go away? So is there somewhere we can put that on the website so that we can easily share that with residents?
I'd have to talk with Mike Zimmerman about that information. I don't know to what extent we can, it's pretty generic what information we do have. Not diminishing the value that may have for our community members, but basically what I said is what would be out on the web, and we can certainly add it if you'd like. I'm not sure where, but
I think people might not be clear that we're working on, the city is working on keeping the post office there in whatever capacity that we can. And I think that's what people want to know, is that we're doing everything that we can to encourage it to stay. So even minimal information I think would be valuable. Thanks.
okay.
Jay, you had another question?
Yeah, I just wanted to point out on the redistricting, we have to have our work done, absolutely done by December 1st. That's because there's going to be an election next April, and people have to start circulating nominating papers as of December 1st, and they got to know where the districts are. So it is going to be a challenge to get this done in the time period, because I was on the redistricting committee twice, and the amount of information that comes pouring in from the Census Bureau, it's a lot of stuff to look at. And for a group of, I don't know how many people you're thinking of, 5 or 6 people to go through, I mean, there's literally hundreds of pages, because they go through each census block to give populations and demographic information in case you want to try to, I know one of the goals that happened in 2010 was there was a goal to have a majority-minority district, which we had already had, but the mayor at the time decided that was something that needed to override all other concerns. So if it's really going to be a challenge to pour through all that data and get it done in that amount of time.
Yes, it is. Yep. Gabriella?
Yeah, just building off of that, is it as part of the redistricting process, does the committee select the location of the polling places?
That's another piece that we look at, is polling places, yeah.
So just a suggestion, I don't know if it's possible for the committee to be put together before the census information is released to us. I wonder if perhaps there could be some work done to identify potential polling locations, because I know there's a lot of requirements that we have to meet to make it a polling location. But perhaps if we can identify which sites are possibilities, then we would be able to select one depending on how the lines are drawn. Because, anyway, I don't know if that's a possibility. I just want to throw out that idea.
All right.
I had one more question.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
So I was involved in a similar process with the Verona School District for their kind of mapping out the schools. And I know there was a sort of a professional consulting firm that was leading the process to make it a little bit more manageable and just put options in front of people. I know we don't have that, but my question is sort of like, who's the professional in the room that will sort of be streamlining and guiding the process to be able to make it manageable? I'm just thinking about what Jay is saying with, hundreds of pages to get through. Who sort of facilitates that to help the folks that are on it make it easier and more doable for them?
Yeah, from a staff perspective, Tracy, Wade, and I believe Chad will all be on that to help give information, answer questions, and try and make it as digestible as possible.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I think that's all. Before we do Planning Commission, Rain, did you want to do a quick change to the agenda?
Yes, I'd like to move under new business 11A1, move it to fall in under 7B2, just after B2.
Just after B2? Okay, so I'll do Public Works and then do that item.
That's correct.
All right, how's that? Seconded by Jay. All right, and just for those that don't know, Phil is here to speak about that item, and he's also here to speak about number 1 in Public Works, so I don't really want him to sit here for the extra, hopefully only 20 or 30 minutes, but to sit through everything else. So all in favor of amending the agenda, say aye.
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 And opposed, nay. All right, so that'll be after Public Works. Plan Commission, anything you want to add, Randy? There's no motions or anything like that, agenda items.
No, not offhand. We have not met, but nothing since the last. I don't believe.
All right,
Okay.
sounds good. Public Works, since Dave's not here, Jim, I believe you're also on Public Works. Do you want to do a motion for these?
Sure. I make a motion to set resolution R-137-21, a resolution accepting subdivision improvements in the plat of first edition to Terra Vesa.
Second.
All right, and did Public Works approve?
Yes.
All right, and do you want to speak to what this is, Jim?
Well, Dave has all the notes, of course.
All right.
Let me look at something up here.
I know, Phil, you're registered in support. I just want to. All right. Yeah. So Phil's
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
registered in support, and also available for questions if we have them. Jim,
Right.
you ready?
Yeah, I could go with the background, as I was just looking it up. So on September 23rd, 2020, Fitchburg Lands LLC in the city of Fitchburg entered into an agreement for subdivision improvements in the plat of first edition to Terra Vesa. The city engineer has inspected and conditionally approved the subdivision improvements within the plat.
Great. I know this is something we have to do for all developments, and it's good to know that those improvements are in. I know that is a development that's going very rapidly, very popular.
Yes.
Any questions or comments on this one? Yeah, Gabriella.
The packet also says that there was an amendment in Board of Public Works. What was that pertaining to?
That's a good question.
Chad, you.
I don't know specifically what the amendment was, but this is, if I can look at this correctly, this is in regards to that senior housing project. Is that correct? Are we on 11A?
No, we're not.
It
I'm
looks
Not the
like,
senior one, no.
We're talking about the plan that was previously put before Board of Public Works as far as the last meeting.
it's,
Yep, and all the progress has been made on those, is my understanding.
and it looks like in the packet that there was required restoration of a borrow pit area. So,
Yeah, and I talked with staff, Bill and Tracy in particular, about that, and they're satisfied with where the progress is on that particular item.
right. Julia.
Yeah, I kind of make a comment about when there are some amendments, and it comes to council for us, can they add what it was the amendment for? Because sometimes we cannot find that information in the package, or we need to go and take a look at the meeting, watch the meeting. So can we do that from now on? So
As on the first page of this item in
yeah,
the
you know, when they
packet,
say
on the
as
bottom of
amended,
that.
and then yeah, they explain what they did, because sometimes it's not clear. Thank you.
All right, any other questions or comments, Jay?
Yes, so just mentioning what Gabriella mentioned, I thought I might go and look at the minutes of the Board of Public Works meeting, which was on August 2nd, and the minutes are not here. So I'm not, again, I brought this up at our last council meeting, that these draft minutes are supposed to be posted within, I think it's within 5 days of the meeting, and it's not happening. So we need to figure out how to make that happen.
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
Jay, you brought that up, I think, last meeting, and I had a chance to catch up with the city attorney and ask if she could provide any information as to where any sort of time limit or timeline exists on when meetings should be put together. And she couldn't reference anything related to ordinance that
Well,
specifies a
It
date.
used to be in our ordinance, so I will draft an ordinance
so-
change to make that happen.
There is, what we could find is there's an information in the council packet, an orientation packet that references 1 week. Now, obviously, I recognize we are
Right.
now outside the 1 week mark on that, but we didn't find anything where it was codified, so to
Well,
speak.
it was. I wrote the
All right.
ordinance that made it happen.
All right,
but-
we'll work on that outside of this, because we're off track, but yeah, we can, it sounds like Jay and maybe with Chad is gonna work on getting that part done, but sticking to the agenda item here, Julie, do you have a question on the agenda item? No? All right. All right, seeing nothing else, then all in favor, say, oh,
Wait, do we need to, I'm sorry, do we need to amend it or?
I believe, well, Jim, was your motion to approve as amended?
To approve as amended.
Okay, all right. Just want to clarify that. So it is with the amendment in there. Okay. All right. All in favor, say aye.
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 And opposed, nay. All right, that's approved. Next one, Jim.
Yes, motion to approve resolution R-142-21, resolution accepting subdivision improvements in phase 1 in the Payne and Dolan CSM. And this one,
Can I get a second?
Second.
Seconded by Randy. And those Public Works approve this one?
yes.
All right, and what's this one about?
Yes, this is one where Payne and Dolan has did improvements as far as stormwater and all the infrastructure improvements that needed to be done for this subdivision. City engineer has inspected, and everything is okay.
All right, any questions on this one? Julia.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
Julia.
I am looking at the map and the exhibit C, and it's talking, it mentioned phase 1 improvements and phase 2 improvement. This is more about the Lazy Row and the Commerce Park Drive area.
I'm sorry, what's your question?
So my question is, what we're, because I am confused about this, I couldn't understand what it was about this.
So it's the phase 1 improvements that we're approving right now, even though phase 2 is on the map. This is just phase 1 improvements.
Yeah, we're not doing phase 2 yet.
I think she's just confused what it's at.
This is along Commerce
Okay.
Park Drive. What's your question, Julia?
No, because I think you mentioned that it was the subdivision, that one is different. This one is a totally different, resolution. This one is more about the phase 1 in this commerce park in this area. It's not the subdivision that they're planning to build in, So I know. That's it.
All right. Seeing nothing else, all in favor, say aye.
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 And opposed, nay. All right, that is approved. And then anything else on Public Works, Jim? All right, seeing nothing else, we now will skip to the one direct referral we had. And it looks like it's a Planning Commission item. Randy, would you like to do the motion for 11A1?
Yes, motion to approve resolution R-156-21, PPA-2394-21, resolution approving preliminary plat amendment request, PPA-2394-21 by Phil CM, agent for Fitchburg Lands LLC for the approval of the preliminary plat of Terra Vesa, revision number 1, outlot 40 Terra Vesa, outlot 2 and 3, CSM 15003.
Second.
All right, signed by Jay. Did Planning Commission approve?
We did, yes.
Did Parks Commission approve?
Yes, we did.
All right, and do you want to speak to this, Randy?
Yeah, I'm going to have to refresh my memory. It's been a while. Let me just pull up some of the background information as well.
Can I also clarify, your motion was to approve as amended by Planning Commission?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes. So should I speak to the background information and then go to the amendments, or?
Yeah, that's great.
Sure. The background is, as everyone can see, is the applicant is requesting approval of the preliminary plat, amendment to the Terra Vesa preliminary plat. The plat would create 432 billable lots and 33 outlots. The first preliminary plat for Terra Vesa created 793 billable lots and 63 outlots. And then the Plan Commission amended the following conditions of approval. Configuration of proposed outlot 56, 57, and lots 287, 288 may be adjusted by staff. Approval prior to city signing. Reconfiguration shall result in 3 buildable lots on the north end of the block and 1 outlot on the south end of the block. And that's item 7. 8 is in exchange for removal of the identified specimen tree on the proposed outlot 57. Developer shall provide the plant 3 new oak trees on size satisfactory to the city forester of suitable alternative species satisfactory to the city forester.
All right, and if Phil is here to registering support and available for questions, essentially what happened is there was an oak tree that we were trying to save, and it was on this outlot 57. Upon further inspection by a forester, or arborist, I should say, the tree unfortunately was not in good health and was essentially, I think, rotting out. And after looking at it, our city forester, Anna, she also agreed that unfortunately the tree is dying and it's not worth saving, unfortunately, because it's going to fall over soon, and we should really take it down now before it comes down in a storm or something like that. And so because of that, the outlot that 57 that was on isn't needed to be saved as an outlot, and so the developer would like to turn that into some developable lots and create more housing and sell more lots there. But he has agreed to plant 3 new oak trees in the development, probably in the oak meadow that we have, oak savanna that we have out there. Probably makes the most sense to put that there. And so he has 3 more buildable lots, but the city is going to get some more trees to have on the city-owned land as part of that. So.
Yeah.
It blew down in the storms last week.
Comment, the tree has come down.
All right.
Yeah, so. In a storm.
Apparently that was an accurate report that we got, which is good.
Yeah.
All right. Gabriella, you had a question or comment?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I have a couple things. Why was this a direct referral instead of going through the consent agenda?
Because it would have originally been on the first meeting in July, but we didn't have a meeting in July. It's because it had to make the last plan commission meeting. And so it's to get to the last plan commission meeting, it was, even though it's a direct referral, it still went to the meetings, different committees. Actually, yeah, yep. So that's really why I was direct referred, because it had to go to planning commission on July 20th, and we didn't have the July 13th council meeting. That's why there was.
Does this have to be approved today? Like, is there some sort of timeliness about this needing to be approved today?
Is there a reason to delay it?
Well, I'm curious why this wasn't referred to the tree advisory. We have a meeting on Thursday, and I think the removal of a specimen tree, and that is very relevant to our current conversation towards creating a tree protection ordinance. And when I read that, there's nothing in the packet that references, honestly, it's vague in terms of like whether or not our city forester has actually had a chance to take a look at it. And I haven't had a chance to talk with her about it, and there's no opportunity for discussion amongst tree advisory. So that's my main concern.
Yeah, we talked about this at plan, but the tree is blown down. So, I mean, they can talk about it, but the tree's gone, unfortunately. Shannon, you have a vote on it since the tree's gone? We still need to vote on it, yes.
Okay,
yeah.
just checking.
Yep. All right. Further questions or comments? Yeah, Gabriella.
Just a general request that when things go through plan commission that have, significant trees, and maybe this is something we need to clarify in the ordinance, it would be nice to make an attempt to have it go through tree advisory so we can have that robust discussion and make sure that those things are addressed. And I do trust that plan commission has taken a look at that, but it's not always obvious in the materials that are given to us, and no memo from our city forester or anything like that. So in terms of people that care a lot about trees, it'd be nice to have some specific discussion related to trees. And that is all.
All right. Seeing nothing else, then all in favor, say aye.
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 And opposed, nay? All right, that is approved. Thanks, Bill. Going back up the agenda to Parks Commission. Julia.
Yes, I move approval of resolution R-146-21, approval of the new inclusive playground with installation at Mckee Farms Park.
Second.
All right, signed by Gabrielle. I'll give that one too. Did Parks Commission approve?
Yes.
Did Finance approve?
Finance approved, yes.
All right, Julia, do you want to explain this?
Yeah, also Scott Endel is here for question, and also he sent you the revised resolution this afternoon. So what we are trying to do here is this resolution is about approving the purchase of the equipment for the inclusive playground. And you will ask you why we are approving the equipment first instead of the other stuff. And that one, there is a reason, because we need to know the type of equipment that we are going to buy and purchase, because we need to know the weight, the material, because that one is going to determine the surface that we need to install, okay? So if we know exactly what type of equipment we are buying and we are approving, then we can move to the next phase, that is going through the bid for the surface of the park. So is that correct, Scott? I am missing something?
Nope, that's correct, Julia. Depending on the different amenities, they're going to require a different fall protection, which in turn will be a different thickness of the poured-in-place surfacing. So once that's determined, then we'll be able to hone in a little bit more on the poured-in-place design.
And also in your resolution, we at the Park Commission, we decided to we follow the feedback that we got from this survey, that we asked the public about what are the two, renderings or design, and it was an overwhelming approval for the Lee recreation, and Park Commission is recommending that too.
Any questions or comments? Jay and then Randy.
I'm just going to make a motion to amend this because the published resolution didn't have Lee Recreation in the fourth whereas clause. It just had XX. So
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
going to move to amend this to put Lee Recreation in that spot.
All right, is there a second? Second. Seconded by Shannon. Any discussion on the amendment? Seeing none, all in favor of making that adjustment, say aye.
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 And opposed, nay. All right, that is amended. Randy?
I'm not sure who this question is directed to, if it's Julia or if it's Scott. Earlier this year, we had a resolution came forth to advance this project, if I remember correctly, and there were some dollar amounts as far as contributions. Do you know where those contributions stand at this point? I don't know if Scott or maybe Julie, you can answer that.
Yeah, the private contribution are around, the last time that we checked, around $80,000.
Okay, all right. But they haven't been made to the city yet at this point in time, correct?
No,
Okay.
they are in the Madison. Part of those are with the Fitchburg Optimist Club, and the rest is with the Madison Community Foundation.
Thank you.
And I know there is a direct referral piece. This will be at our next meeting. Chad, do you want to speak to that and why it's in next meeting?
Yeah, so the Parks Department did put out a request for proposal or request for bid on the site work for the park, and that bid has come in significantly over what was anticipated. So the Parks Department will be putting forth a direct referral for the August 24th meeting, requesting council to approve rejection of that bid. Reason being for the direct referral is we are going to have it going to Board of Public Works next week for review, and then do a direct referral to Finance and the council on the 24th. all this being done in order to keep the timeline moving on this project with fall coming and the construction season obviously going to be ending sooner rather than later. Parks Department is working on a plan where they will seek some outside assistance for time and materials and look to do a lot of that work themselves at this point to try to keep this project moving and on budget.
All right. Other questions at all? All right. Seeing none. All in favor, say aye.
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 And opposed, nay. All right. That is approved. Thank you, Scott. Julia, anything else on Park Commission?
Yes,
welcome.
So we beside the resolution that we just approved, we also discussed the park's designation and related matters. This one is, Wade Thompson, our community planner, is going to be working on, do you remember there was a discussion in council about the park designation? What is the difference between a community park, an area park, so we want to go and take a look at this in more detail, in more depth. We are going to try to explore some, revision or park designation and standard criteria like category, uses, geographical location, etc. And also we are going to review the park dedication fee in lieu of parkland and park improvement fee requirements. So this study will take approximately 3 to 6 months. And the staff is going to provide updates throughout the study process to the Park Commission. So I'm going to bring you some of those updates. But this is something that we ask, we had that discussion in the past, and we are going to do some revision of these two topic items. We also discuss the Estonia Prairie Park planning update. So as you know, this park is under, is going to be the ad hoc committee. It was dissolved by the mayor and then is coming back to the Parks Commission. It's going to take control and guidance on the design and all the aspects of the park, working with the staff. So we have a good discussion about that. Then we discuss about the the park and recreation open space plan is going to be updated. So we have the update in the package. You can see the timeline for this update. So if you're going through you want to revise and take a look at the parks plan and recreation plan, and you have any comments or feedback, please send those feedback to Wade and Scott. We want your feedback. This is your opportunity to determine, if you have some recommendation for how our parks should look like in the future or amenities, you name it. So this is your chance. Also, we discussed the Ag Park update, that I mentioned before in the last meeting. And we have a timeline in Terravesa. We want to create an Ag park. So we put together Wade Thompson put together the timeline. And the other thing that we discussed, we went through the update, the CIP update. So the Park Commission people were very happy. They want to thank you for all the approval to all the Parks Commission initiative and project. So that's it.
All right. Thank you. Library Board.
But we do have a meeting next week.
All right. Commission on Aging, while Dave is not here. RCC.
A few things. The Resource Conservation Commission has an opening, so anyone that's interested in stormwater sustainability issues, a good time to throw in your application. And I do believe there's a couple of applications in the past that hopefully will be considered. So that's that. And then we had a presentation at our meeting just yesterday from the South Central Invasives Partnership. It's a new partnership between 5 counties funded through a DNR grant, and it's specifically related to managing invasive species, specifically plants in the area. So talking wild parsnip, garlic mustard, poison ivy, other things that are affecting park area and natural areas in Fitchburg. And so they're going to work on kind of filling out this organization there'll be outreach, like work to do outreach to the community that hopefully the RCC and the council can help with, but also volunteer opportunities and opportunities to learn more about how to prevent and deal with it on your property. There's also a really cool new app called edmaps.com, EDDMAPPS.com. Kind of a strange name, but anyway, it's a map. It's kind of a citizen science initiative where you can download it and you can actually track invasives in your area. So if it's something that you're passionate about, feel free to send me an email or send email the city, and I can connect you with that, and you can get you set up with that. And you can also look up online, either an app or the website. Next thing, our September meeting is going to be on Wednesday, September 15th at 6:30 p.m. And it's going to be a sustainability focused meeting. So we're going to have a more extensive conversation about what sustainability planning could look like in the city in the future, and also kind of a summary of the sustainability efforts that are happening in the city, led by our sustainability specialist, Phil Groupie. So I think it should be a really interesting presentation for any of the councils interested, and I'll try to give a quick update at our next meeting after it occurs. And then last thing, I want to do one more reminder that our recycling event is Saturday, November 6th, 2021 from 8 to 11 a.m. And actually, if it's okay, I'm going to share the brochure that gives some clarity about what can be recycled. So if you'll bear with me for just a second. So this is the fall 2021 recycling event. We haven't had one for a while because of the pandemic. So this will be a good chance. And specifically, it's confidential paper recycling, electronics recycling, and a med drop. But there's a lot of information about what is accepted and what's not accepted. It's good to be prepared when you come. So anybody that doesn't have a shredder in their home can do confidential paper recycling during the event. There's also electronics recycling. These are the list of things that can be recycled at no cost. There are other things that can be recycled, but there is a charge. So it's good to take note of what those are. And then there's also med drop, and there's a procedure for how to prepare your pills for dropping in the med drop. Also, and there's a couple I think is about what you should not bring for the med drop that do not qualify. And once again, that date is Saturday, November 6th, 2021 from 8 to 11 a.m. And we are still looking for volunteers. So if anyone's interested in volunteering, that would be fantastic. Let me know or reach out to Claudia Guy in the city, who's our stormwater engineer. Thanks.
Oh, sorry, Julia has a question. Go ahead, Julia.
Yeah, no, I for Gabriela. Gabriela, can you share that brochure with the council?
Yes, I can definitely do that.
Thanks.
All right, seeing nothing else. What about TTC?
Transportation Transit Committee meets this Thursday, August 12th at 6:30 p.m.
All right, CETA, Julia.
Okay, I don't have any report. But I would like to mention something that is coming up. So there is a new grant program that is offered by the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation called Main Street Bounce Back. There was a lot of information and on the TV and newspaper. So the description of this Main Street Bounce Back grant is a program that provides $10,000 to new or existing businesses and not-for-profit organizations moving into a vacant property in Wisconsin downtowns and commercial corridors. So these funds can be used to pay leases or mortgage, operational expenses, and other business costs related to the newly opened location. So the program is open to new or existing businesses opening in a new location or expanding operation in a vacant commercial space starting January 1st, 2021. So the grant funds are available as a part of the American Recovery Plan Act. Is you go to the WDC website, you can find the link. And we have a regional partner in Dane County and surrounding counties that is going to be MARREP, is going to be the organization that is going to be doing the grants. So any business that they are looking at watching this program, this meeting, they can, go to the WDC website and look for a regional partner so they can determine what is your regional partner and then contact them. There is a phone number, an email, and a name. And then they can start the process for the $10,000. So if we have businesses here in Fitchburg that they can apply and not for profit, this is a great opportunity.
All right, thank you. Next up is Ag and Rural Affairs. Randy.
We have not met, but the broadband study information from the residents from Ag and Rural, or I should say the rural area, have been submitted, and Wade Thompson is compiling that information from the survey.
Great. All right, EMS.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Shannon.
We didn't meet this last month. It was canceled. We meet next week, Thursday.
All right, Bicycle Committee, Joe.
Sure. I've got a couple things. First off, related to Bike Fitchburg, not directly to the committee. They're going to be having an event on September 11th at in the parking lot of the Newfound's apartment. It'll be a bike rodeo. For folks that don't know what a bike rodeo is, it's essentially a bike safety event for aimed at children, where they sort of learn how to bike safely. Whether it's on sidewalks or streets. The details of that are forthcoming, but I'll once they get finalized, I'll put that in the report for next meeting. The other things we talked about, just updates on road projects that impact the bike network. We talked about the bike ped crossing prioritization. The bicycle registration process update, so the fact that we're eliminating bike registration fees, and also looking at what type of online free registration we can promote to the public. And there was sort of a back and forth as to whether to use one app and just promote that, or promote people using multiple apps. So that discussion wasn't finalized. And then we talked about the move towards getting gold status, and sort of all the things that are involved in that. Again, a discussion, no final decision made. And then finally, we're recruiting a new bike committee member. I know there was an application probably 3 or 4 months ago from somebody, and I just saw one coming in today. So, we've got some applications in for that. That's all I've got.
All right, thank you. Trade Advisory.
We meet this Thursday, August 12th at 3:30 p.m.
All right, Landmarks.
We haven't met.
All right, Housing Advisory. Joe?
Yes, the next Housing Advisory Committee is December 13th, so we haven't had a meeting since June.
All right, Healthy Neighborhoods. All right, sounds good. I know that we are working on coming forward with something to make Healthy Neighborhoods kind of an official committee, so look for that on a future agenda item here. Finance, Randy.
Yes, the approval of bills. First one, detailed review of all checks issued. Checks 122-372 through 122-435, dated for the period of July 16th through the 31st, 2021, totaling $1,173,650.94. The next item that we reviewed was a detailed review of all ACH payments, July 1st through the 31st, 2021, totaling $501,741.04. And then item C, review of P-card transactions for the cycle ending July 6, 2021. Total, $238,739.53.
All right, any questions at all? All right, seeing none. Personnel Committee, Julia.
Well, no reports we are meeting maybe in September.
All right, sounds good. Public safety.
We did a number of things this evening, but one of them was approving a operator's license for Demisha Gali. Well, I'll get a second.
All right,
I'll move approval of that.
Second.
seconded by Shannon.
So she had had a DWI within the 2-year period, but the police department reviewed it and offered their approval, and she came and appeared and said she wouldn't do it again, so.
Usually give people the leeway if they come and promise to hopefully not do it again. All right, any questions on her application? All right, all in favor of approving Demisha Gali, say aye.
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 And opposed, nay. All right, anything else for public safety? Seeing none, mayor's reports. Don't have much, obviously, there's a lot going on. We've talked about a number of those things already. So I guess I really don't have too much else at this point in time. So I will just go to all the reports, and we'll start with District 3 this time. And Jay, I'll let you go first.
It's been raining in District 3.
It has been.
That's all I have.
Yes, I lost part of my gutter. Yeah. Shannon.
I got nothing to report either.
All right. Jim.
Nothing to report.
All right. Randy?
No, nothing to report.
No? All right. How about Joe?
Yeah, I've got a few things as always. I did get outreach from Dulce Danell. She is reports to the president of Madison College in a role as outreach manager, I suppose. And she's really looking to do outreach in Fitchburg. Fitchburg and Sun Prairie have the highest rates of attrition. And what attrition means is students who enroll or start a program and don't finish. So she has not only a staff, but also funds to be able to do outreach events, and she plans to do them here in Fitchburg. They held an event at Hegel Park, Jamestown Hegel Park, this Monday. They got about 20 people that came through, and they helped all of them with basically helping them enroll for classes in in September. She's really looking to do more events throughout, the year, and is open to anybody who has either a space or, some sort of opportunity to do that. And that can be apartment building, community rooms, that can be parks, that can be businesses, churches. So this is just to all of the alders. If you do have an opportunity to host Madison College or want to connect to spaces for her team to be able to host events, again, she does have a budget for food and other items related to that. I think it's really important, especially in this kind of, job environment we're in, economic environment we're in, to be able to have as many folks connected to, training and education as possible and eliminate those barriers. The other update I have is on Little John's. They had a fundraiser for their new space. I believe it was Saturday, and they raised quite a bit of money. It was a pretty nice outdoor event. They were selling everything from food, lemonade, to different vendors that came through. They had music and some performers as well. So just wanted to highlight that. Third thing is there are 2 new episodes of D1 All Stars that will be up soon. I interviewed Luis Duran, who is a professional at UW, but he's also a musician. And he played some music for us. And then I also had Shalisha Johnson, who's a small business owner, photographer, and also works in childcare. So if you go to the Fact TV YouTube page, look up D1 All Stars, you should be able to see both of those interviews coming up pretty soon. That's all I've got.
Julia.
Yes, I have a couple of things too. So continue with Joe about Madison College. I, as you know, for the new Alder, I co-host a Spanish TV show produced by Fact TV that is in Spanish, and where we provide Spanish news to our 4,000 Latinos living in Fitchburg. I had the opportunity to do an interview with Dulce Nadel on Friday to promote the event. And also invite her to be part of the show. So she has another channel to continue to offer the programs and initiatives that Madison College has. So regarding our district too, tomorrow is going to be a second meeting with the neighbors regarding lots 53 and 54. And Core Senior Living is organizing this neighbor meeting. It's going to be from 4 to 6 o'clock. They are offering a Zoom link. So if anyone is watching this and you need a Zoom link, you can reach out to me or Gabriela so we can provide you with a Zoom link for tomorrow meeting. It's going to be at the Windham Hotel. So it's going to be indoors. So tomorrow, 4 to 6. So they changed the design of the projects. So this is what is important to attend to this second meeting. My third comment is I want to make a comment about something that I am very concerned. It's about the time frame and the timeline for the hiring of the new police chief. I was very concerned and surprised when we have our public reception on August 3rd, and then the next day the PFC met to select the candidate that they were moving forward without any, without waiting for at least a week so people of the community can watch the video and also provide more questions and get more feedback and participation. So I am very concerned that the PFC is moving this process very fast, rushing, and I think we need to be we need to consider that public participation and input is crucial in this process, and we need to do all the due diligence to make this happen. We shouldn't rush it the way we are doing it. I don't think that if there are people even know that we are hiring a new police chief. I think that the city had to do a better job outreaching the community and promoting all of this. So, so I have received a couple of texts for people in my on phone call from people in my district or outside the district saying, where can I find the video? How can I watch this? Why do you already, why you guys are rushing this? So that one is, as a taxpayer, I am talking, not as an alder, because I know that we need to maintain our impartiality in this process. I think there is a perception out there that we are rushing this process. And we have to be careful. We have to be careful because we cannot cross a line where we are in rushing this process, we can lose transparency into the process. So my message to the PFC is, take it, don't rush it. And, and please, you need to allow the public to give you the feedback. And I want to mention again, because we put it in Facebook, and because we put it on the website, it's not enough outreach. We need to do better. We need to, I know we received an email in the afternoon from Alder Gabriela Herhard. He mentioned about some of these concerns. Maybe she's going to explain that, but I also mentioned about we need to also consider when the Fitchburg study is going out to make public all of this. So that's it.
All right, Gabriela.
Yeah, the one thing I about the police chief hiring timelines, very, very concerned. And as Alderetta Freda mentioned, I did send an email to the PFC and I copied the council and the mayor this afternoon, or this evening actually, requesting that the PFC publicly clarifies the timeline, specifically the date, at the earliest date that they would vote on who the final police chief is. I think this is really important because the process has been moving so fast. And really the only date that I've heard is the next date is August 18th. And I think right now, in my mind, the PFC could potentially vote on a final police chief candidate on August 18th. And I think they need to clarify that. I also think that considering the Fitchburg Star, when the Fitchburg Star is released, is really crucial. Anyone that does not have broadband access, which a lot of our residents do, as I know Alder Udell can report on, they really have almost no way to know that this is even happening because the candidates were released, the names were released on July 27th. That was after the Fitchburg Star hit mailboxes, and the August Fitchburg Star has not been released yet. So the timeline's moving too fast. And for context, the 4 candidate names were released on July 27th, 2021. The public event was held on August 3rd, which is 10 days later. And then the 2 finalists were selected on August 4th, less than 24 hours after that public event. And then the 2 finalists that they chose at that meeting were released on August 9th, which is literally just 14 days after the 4 names were released. It's way, way, way too fast. It's ridiculously too fast. And I think damage has already been done, but I think the PFC can remedy it in that they can slow the timeline down now, allow more information to get through the public, obviously online, but also through the Fitchburg Star, and allow people enough time to give feedback on those final 2 candidates. Obviously, they've already run out of time to give candidate feedback on the 4 candidates because 2 of them have already been eliminated by the PFC. I would encourage my fellow council members, if you agree that the timeline is too fast, to please reach out to the PFC as well. I'd just like to point out that last meeting, we slowed down voting on the intersection design for Lacey and Seminole. That resolution had been publicly noticed for more than a month. It had been discussed in depth at Public Works and at Transportation and Transit. And we still delayed it for at least a month so there'd be more public outreach and public feedback. And in my opinion, the hiring of a police chief is far, far, far more important and consequential to the lives of our citizens than an intersection design. So I think this fast timeline is potentially devastating in terms of trust with the public. And I really, really I've already strongly encouraged the PFC to think about the timeline. But if the other alders and the mayor agree with that, I would encourage you to reach out as well. And then also to the public, for anyone's watching, if you think the timeline is too fast, please reach out and say that because I think there needs to be more time. Thank you.
Can I just add one thing to that? Just that I've gotten a lot of outreach in the past 3 days from people that live in Fitchburg, and I've gotten people outreach to me as far as Washington, D.C., who don't even live here and haven't lived here for decades, about this process. And it is, I just want to say that I fully 100% agree with the sentiments of Alder Gearhart, and if other council members have also gotten that outreach from folks, it puts us in a very awkward and difficult position, not only as elected officials, but also people that have to live here and will have to deal with consequences of a rush decision. So I just wanted to add that piece.
All right. And just for clarification for the public at home is that the PFC makes the decision. The council really does. Some of us have been involved, and obviously we have input like the rest of the community, but they really make that decision. They make that choice on timing and all that. So that's why people are saying to reach out to the PFC. All right. There is no unfinished business. We already took care of new business. Our next meeting is in 2 weeks. The next committee of the whole is in 2 weeks and 1 day. Randy, I think you're still waiting on topic for one of the topics, aren't you, for that?
That's correct, but we do have the city assessor, Amy Mercer, speaking in one of the time slots.
All right. Sounds good. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Sent by Shannon. All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, nay. All right. Have a good night. Stay dry.